Could you possibly go without medical care? What would you do if you showed up at the hospital and there were no nurses there to take care of you, but you had a life-threatening situation? This is what is potentially going to happen if a deal is not met. Over 17,000 nurses may strike in New York City. Mind you, these are people that once were celebrated. Remember all the claps that took place every single night in New York for the doctors and the nurses and other medical staff? Where is that? Where is that love?
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. What's up, cousins, and welcome back to the channel. So today is probably going to be a busy upload day, so please turn on your notifications if you have not, or reset your notifications so you won't miss out on the videos that I'm putting out today. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the channel. We would love to have you here. So, Strikeathon 2023. We've already been threatened with strikes, whether it's the railroad or other unionized companies. Now we are dealing with a strikeathon happening. And when I say strikeathon, it's a lot of people that are planning to go on strike. Right now we have nurses that are striking in England, and they have new dates set for 2023, and I will let you know what they are. We also have nurses in New York City who are threatening to strike. We're going to talk about that as well. But first, let's get into this strike. Well, this is the Apple company. This article states workers in Australia initiated a strike Friday afternoon demanding better working conditions and wages. A workers' union said a move that might dent sales of the tech giant during the peak Christmas shopping time. Workers represented by Australia's Retail and Fast Food Workers Union had earlier this month announced a walkout from Apple's retail outlets nationwide at 3 p.m. local time on December 23rd, with plans to stay away through Christmas Eve. Earlier in June, Apple workers in Maryland became first retail employees of the tech giant to unionize in the country as workers continue to criticize the company's working conditions. Their claims are that an 8-year-old agreement denies workers weekends, consecutive days off, set rosters, set days of work, 12-hour breaks between shifts, overtime rates, among others. The 2014 agreement is one such agreement which pushes workers below the legal minimum, the union alleged, demanding the iPhone maker immediately return to the table and negotiate a fair agreement. The next company who has workers that are threatening to go on strike on January 1st is AUDI. Worker representatives at automaker Audi's Mexico plant have a set date of January 1st to reach an agreement with the company over pay raises without launching a strike. So if they can reach it, then they won't go on strike. If they don't reach it by January 1st, then Audi is going to be down some workers. The independent union of Audi Mexico workers and Audi had previously negotiated two options to raise the pay wages for the plant's 4,000 unionized employees in central state of Puebla. Workers last week voted down both proposals, sending their union and employers back into discussion. One of the options was 8.4% pay increase in 2023. The other put forward a 9.4 hike next year, followed by annual raises through 2026 in line with inflation, plus 1 percentage point. Guys, the wind here is blowing so hard, you might hear it from time to time. So, with everything that's happening around the world and inflation, these prices, people cannot live off of what they're making right now. Nurses in Britain are striking, and not just nurses, ambulance drivers as well. So this article reads, the head of one of Britain's biggest trade unions has urged ministers to make a pay offer to striking workers, insisting it does not necessarily have to beat inflation. The National Secretary of GMB, Rachel Harrison, said that her union's dispute with the government would only be resolved with a higher pay offer. So whatever they're willing to bring to the table, they will take back and they will vote on it. They're not going to give a specific number of what they want, but they do want something to be done. So this came after the union postponed the ambulance workers strike it was planning for December 28th until January 11th. So they're still planning to strike on January 11th, the ambulance workers, if they don't reach some kind of deal before then. Harrison said the move was being taken to show gratitude. So what I'm about to talk about, I do have a clip for it, and I will play it as soon as I get done. But guys, this is serious, okay? They mean business. So this article is by ABC. New York City hospitals are not immune from the crush of inflation, and the nurse union has authorized a strike for the new year if contract negotiations are not finalized. There are approximately 17,000 nurses that are going to strike at 12 hospitals. That is major, you guys, including Montefiore, Mount Sinai, and New York Presbyterian have contracts expiring December 31st with no new contract agreement on the table for 2023. Nurses say hospitals are short-staffed and not doing enough for patients as COVID, RSV, and the flu are running rampant. They are dealing with a triple-demic, and they are being taxed with more patients per nurse. Usually a nurse will get around 6 to 7 on a busy schedule. They're having to handle way more than that. A psychiatric nurse stated that understaffing makes everything worse. Many of us were traumatized by what we saw and by the conditions we have been working under since the pandemic began. Mind you, these are people that once were celebrated. Remember all the claps that took place every single night in New York for the doctors and the nurses and other medical staff? Where is that? Where is that love? The New York State Nurses Association held a vote in which nearly 99% voted to authorize the strike. So everybody is on board. All they need now to not strike is the right number, I guess. We don't take striking lightly. That is said by the president of NYSNA, President Nancy Hagan is the president of the New York State Nurses Association. She says that we don't take striking lightly. Striking is always the last resort, but we are prepared to strike if our bosses give us no other option. Nurses have been to hell and back, risking our lives to save our patients throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, sometimes without PPE. We needed to keep ourselves safe, and too often without enough staff for safe patient care. That's all they're asking for. The union also claims that the hospitals have increased fees for healthcare services, but not filling staffing gaps or properly paying nurses for their work throughout the pandemic. Right now, we are facing a triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV. Our pediatric ER is overflowing and short-staffed on almost all shifts. Pediatric ER nurse Aretha Morgan said, "It is unbearable to see children suffer because we don't have enough staff to provide safe patient care." In the clip that I'm about to show you, they do have a list of the 12 hospitals. So please pay attention to those in case you're in that area or you have family in that area. You can let them know. Share this video out with as many people as you possibly can, because I would hate for one of them to show up to one of these hospitals if these nurses actually do strike, because the care is already bad. You're not going to get any care. People are going to lose their lives. They have Bronx Care, the Brooklyn Hospital Center, Flushing Hospital Medical, Interfaith Medical Center, One Brooklyn Health, Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center, Montefiore Medical Center, Mount Sinai Hospital, Mount Sinai Morningside, and Mount Sinai West, New York Presbyterian Hospital, Columbia University Medical Center, Richmond University Medical Center, Wyckoff Heights Medical Center. You guys, if this happens here, I guarantee it will start spreading from state to state to state. So stock up on your medical needs at your home, whatever it is, pain medicine, cold medicine, flu medicine, antibiotics, which all of those things are running short out here and you can barely find any. But stock up on as much as you possibly can. Try not to do anything dangerous that will have you going to the hospital and possibly not receiving the care that you deserve and need. And let's just pray that none of this happens. Leave me some comments below. Let me know what you think of this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, turn on your notifications because today is probably a heavy upload day for me.
What do we want? Fair contracts! When do we want it? Now!
There may be a national shortage, but these nurses place the blame for that on a for-profit hospital industry that spreads them thin, accelerating the rate of burnout when the number of patients goes up.
Right now, we're facing a triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV. Our pediatric emergency room is overflowing, and we're short-staffed in all of our shifts. They've left us with no other choice but to move forward with voting to authorize a strike for better patient care.
More than 14,000 of 17,000 New York State Nurses Association nurses at 12 private sector hospitals and healthcare systems have voted so far, 99% authorizing a strike. They're asking for no cuts to their existing health benefits and wage increases from their employers.
They say they cannot afford to give us more than a 3% cost of living increase to their dedicated staff who help pull them through COVID and help make all the money that they bring in. Shame.
But they agree their number one ask is for the hospitals to offer a plan to recruit and retain more nurses. Benny Matthews says he's juggling 15 to 20 patients at a time in the ER instead of 5 or 6, and accuses hospitals of allowing the quality of patient care to suffer.
Their goal is to make the patients sicker in the community and bring them inside so we can treat them for higher cost.
2 of the hospital systems have responded since we reached out, Mount Sinai and New York Presbyterian, both saying in essence they would very much like to keep their hardworking nurses from walking off the job and are still actively negotiating in good faith. But it could get down to the wire. The contracts expire December 31st. Any strike would happen 10 days later.